Hey guys, welcome to Edukov. This is Farhan, and today our topic is threat, vulnerability, and risk. So let's start. So here we have three definitions, but we will go with threat first. So let's start with it. In simple words, we can say that threat is the any kind of thing which can cause harm to your system. It's included in the definition as well, and this harm can be done to any kind of system or an individual, an organization, or it could be to anything, basically. Here we have an example of in thief. And basically, a hacker or this thief, they are actually not threats, they are threat actors. They are threat actors. And the things what they do are actually threat from an hacker could be in SQL attack, in DOS attack, in cross attack. There could be many kind of attacks. From this day, it be like he can steal from the house and steal the cash. He can took a lot of things which he shouldn't have. A hacker could steal someone's identity, credentials. These are threats, and they can actually exploit a vulnerability. Like there's a term in it. Well, they will also explain vulnerability. What is vulnerability? So here we explained it. Now let's go with vulnerability. What is vulnerability? So vulnerability is a weakness, and it's a weakness. It could be in anything. It could be in a system. It could be in an organization, in a process, in human behavior. Now, why human behavior? So we can take an example of like social engineering attack. And social engineering attack, what happens is that hackers or a threat actor, they basically what they do, they attack, like socially. They can go with a phone call as well. They can just go with an email as well, and they attack the humans. Like they attack human behavior. They first do their understanding, how they do, and they go with it. In a company, what happens is when some kind of someone can pretend that I'm Farhan, I'm working in some kind of company, and someone else can pretend as me, and they can tell that I want access of that particular program, and someone can give it. So it's very important to give trainings to employees about social engineering attack. And the main issue is that there are some tools to actually figure out what social engineering, is this a social engineering attack or phishing attack kind of things, but not completely. Hackers come with different attacks, and they basically just evolve. They evolve these kind of attacks, and it becomes very hard to detect them. That's true. So you should, the human should be involved in it. Yep. So other example also could be in port. It is a very best practice to actually close the ports which are not necessary. And if they are open, they are vulnerable to do the stuffs. A hacker they are vulnerable from an exploit and from a threat. So okay, we explained it. Let's take an example of this house. So there is a house and its windows are open, and this thief can go inside the house and took many things. So the open windows are vulnerability here in this particular example. So at last, with this definition, the last definition, we have risk. So risk is basically likelihood. What are the chances that this particular event can happen? There is a threat. There is a vulnerability. What are the chances of such thing? If there is a hacker, there are hackers. There are things. There are tools which can exploit you. If in vulnerability, take an example of an open port. If there is an open port, we shouldn't be open. It is unnecessarily open. That threat actor can actually use this port to gain access and damage things. So what is the likelihood? What are the chances or percent that this thing can happen? It's just that. It's just predictions. Risk is kind of like a predictions. Yep, that could happen because these things shows possibility. Yep, that could happen. So it's just likelihood. And it says impact combined with the impact it would cause. Risk also include impact. What will be the cause of it? If a threat actor gain an access of a database, and it's very crucial, they can use it. They can cause damage to it. So what will be the impact of it? It will be bad, it will be good, it will be okay. It just depends on them. So here we have an example of it. It just took the money. The thief entered the house from the open windows and took the money, steal the money. Yep, that is the total risk here. So let's go with another slide. So here we are explaining what risk is. It just this formulation is actually used by many frameworks as well. Used by NIST. It's used by OWASP. Used by ISO 27001. It's used by many frameworks. So it is very important as well. It's threat here, vulnerability, and impact. The combination of it is risk. You might have understand with the rough example as well. So there are two factors here. If any of these three is zero, other things automatically become zero. Yeah, but particularly they could be zero or it could be high. And if all the thing is high, then the risk is high. The risk is high if all the things are high. So this is very important. If something is low, it doesn't mean that if there is no threat, that so the vulnerability will be also low and impact will be also low. But it's just like predictions and likelihood. It's the case of predictions and likelihood. It's not the reality though. Systems can always be vulnerable to something, and they can always be exploited by someone. Yeah, it's true. And here we have some points here. You can go with them as well. It's helping making and what are risk to address for. We should always prioritize like the risk. There was a case here, severity. It's actually used in same system, like in Splunk, and maybe in Microsoft one as well. So severity, there could be high, there could be critical, there could be low or medium. We should always go with the most critical one. The critical one, immediately go with. If you don't understand it, just pass that to the L2, SOC L2 analyst. Yep, and that is very good practice. So here we have 4 terms: risk mitigation, transfer, acceptance, avoidance. They're very important actually, and it's kind of like preparations of risk actually. We can say that. So mitigation, it said minimize. Mitigation is basically that trying to minimize the impact of some kind of attack. Like if a hacker getting an access, then there should be very less thing that he could do. She should do. Okay, here's a term called attack surface. Yep. And minimizing the attack surface is actually risk mitigation. Yeah, attack surface could be, there are 10 computers in an organization. Those 10 computers are, attack surface to the whole 3 computers. To minimize that, to protect them, there should be a firewall, a switch should be installed into the Open Hub. There could be many things which can be done to minimize the risk. It is helping, minimize the attack surface. That's what this basically means as well. So here we have a term risk transfer, and it's basically move. And the simple example of this could be insurance companies. And what just happens in insurance companies? Companies the insurance, if they get any kind of like attack or damages due to some kind of disaster or any kind of anything like that, they just transfer that risks to third-party companies like insurance company, and they can claim like their insurance and get their money. So they basically transfer their risk to other companies. And in technical terms, also there is a very good example of that. We have CrowdStrike and we have Microsoft Windows. Windows is the Windows system. So, what has happened in 2025 last year? So, Microsoft got an update from CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike is basically a third vendor which provides security stuff to Microsoft, like responsible for many kind of security stuffs for Microsoft. Because like Microsoft cannot do everything on their own, and yeah, it's good practice to actually depend for something. Like if other person can do it better, yeah. So CrowdStrike do things better, but what they do in 2025, they pushed an update, and there was an vulnerability in it. There wasn't like mismanagement. They haven't tested that very properly, and yep, with that, recording crash worldwide. There was a huge load in it, and what just happened after that in the Western market especially. Yes, Microsoft stocks go down, but CrowdStrike just almost got not almost got crashed, but they got a very huge loss. It was my CrowdStrike near wherever, like on social media, on newspapers and whatever, and news stuff. CrowdStrike was the main culprit with Microsoft. It was named CrowdStrike. Yep. Although Windows goes crashed, but responsible was CrowdStrike. So here's a very logical stuff here. They basically transferred their risk to other companies, and that's the way it is. It is practice in business. So yeah, we have a third term here. It's acceptance. So it's just kind of thing you can say that we just accept the risk. Yep, we know that there is a vulnerability. We know that there is a threat. We know that there is a vulnerability, and what could be the impact of it as well. We know that, but we just accept it. There should be conditions that we just have to accept it, and we can't do anything with that. Somebody might don't have again kind of like investments, or they don't kind of like the people to actually implement these mitigations and transfer and avoidance, or yeah, there could be any factor. They just accept it. It's just the way. And at last, there is risk avoidance, and it means eliminate. And risk avoidance is it's also important, or polar important, but yeah, the risk avoidance is basically like, just avoid the risk and take measures of everything. Yeah, you got to, there isn't threat, there's no vulnerability, there is impact, but we have to take care of all these, and we have to avoid or eliminate these things. If there is an open port, we will close it. If there is unpatched or the systems are not updated, we will update it. It's just that. It's just basically the main purpose is to avoid the risk. That's the main purpose there, and it's a very good thing as well. Just avoid the risk. The best thing to do is, but sometimes the things can't be avoided. It's just we just try to many companies try to avoid the risk, but yeah, it didn't happen as planned. And with that, we will just end up this video. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. We will come in other videos as well. But let's see. Okay, peace. Bye bye.